That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: is all this legal? Absolutely not. But we were making more money than we know what to do with.
Less than 30 minutes ago, James Comer dropped a bombshell. Joe Biden money laundering through China, $40,000. Take it away, good chairman.
Remember when Joe Biden told the American people that his son didn't make any money in China?
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China?
Well, not only did he lie about his son Hunter making money in China, but it also turns out that $40,000 in laundered China money landed in Joe Biden's bank account in the form of a personal check. And the Oversight Committee has it. Here's how Joe Biden benefited from his family's shady deal with CEFC, a Chinese Communist Party-linked company. It all began with a shakedown in the summer of 2017, when Hunter Biden sent a message to his CEFC associate demanding a $10 million capital payment. As Hunter Biden extorted this associate, Hunter claimed he was sitting with his father and that the Biden network would turn on his associate if he didn't pony up the money. The extortion scheme worked. Days later, $5 million flowed in from a Chinese affiliate of CEFC.
Well, there you go. You can see the text message right here, ladies and gentlemen. You can read it, and I shall for you at this very moment. I'm sitting here with my father. We would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled, meaning we need our cash. I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me, Joe Biden, and every person that knows my ability to forever hold a grudge, seems like a really nice guy, really nice, Hunter Biden, really nice, stable person, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here on the call with my father. This is them shaking down the Chinese for the money that landed directly into Joe Biden's bank account. Now, Joe Biden told us he never received a penny from foreign sources. Do you remember this during the presidential debates?
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life. We learned that this president paid 50 times the tax in China, has a secret bank account with China, does business in China, and in fact is talking about me taking money. I have not taken a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever.
A liar. Such a liar. What does the Bible say about liars, man? What do they say about liars? The forked tongue. Lying is the language of the devil. These people that lie for a living, it's like their native language. You gotta watch out for these people. I mean, really, this is the language of politics, and you gotta really start to separate, the wolves from the sheep in this capacity. The people who can look right down the barrel of a camera and lie to you, and this spans parties, right? George Bush lied us into war, okay? George Bush lied Americans into losing their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan. Weapons of mass destruction. That was a lie. You call them out. Chop wood. Balls and strikes. Call a spade a spade. These people who will lie to you and look directly, that is true evil. That's what we're fighting here. It's not a political stripe. It's not a party. It's not red or blue. It is really a spiritual battle between good and evil. The people who can look direct, like without shame, and just lie. They know the evidence is there. It's demonstrable. How does Joe Biden afford multiple multi-million-dollar mansions on the beach? How? Joe Biden's salary in the Senate was like $40,000. How did he do it? Joe Biden knew exactly how he did it. The evidence was voluminous. There's tapes. And Comer says that evidence is here, and now it is going to break the back of this regime. Watch.
President Biden, how involved were you in your son's Chinese shakedown text message? Were you sitting there? Were you involved?
No, I wasn't. And I don't.
Were you?
No.
No! Just another good example, ladies and gentlemen, of Joe Biden directly lying. Now here is James Comer breaking it all down with the evidence. Remember, Joe Biden, no! Did you see that clip? No! Get me a still of that. Give me a still of Joe Biden like screaming. It's demonic, man. Here's the evidence. Watch.
Over the following 3 weeks, Biden family members made a series of complicated financial transactions to hide the source of the China money. Here's how that happened. First, Northern International Capital, a Chinese company associated with CEFC, wired $5 million to Hudson West 3, a joint venture established by Hunter Biden and a CEFC associate. Then Hudson West 3 sent $400,000 to an entity owned and controlled by Hunter Biden. Next, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lion Hall Group, a company owned by James and Sarah Biden. Sarah Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lion Hall Group. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account. A few days later, Sarah Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of the check said loan repayment.
Well, here we go. Oh, man. They know they've been caught. It's delicious. It's really is a wonderful thing. We've been saying on the show, man, you might get justice. You might get justice in this. We're guaranteed that there will be justice and victory in the very end, okay? But we may even get justice in our lifetime. We may even see it happen. And you are seeing the Great Awakening happening in real time, and it is really, really something. So now, here's the map of how it all happened, all right? This has been released by the Great Oversight Committee. It's done impeccable work here. And remember, it's 10% for the big guy, right? 10% for the big guy. So this is Joe Biden just getting his cuts. Here's the actual map of where the money came from and how can you have a president who's compromised by our number one adversary in the world, China. How can you have it? How is it possible? It's not, it's not, like, it's treason, right? So it's treason. This is a foreign entanglement for a president. This is Article 2, Section 4. Treason and bribery are the two reasons why you impeach a president. We all know this. And here is another schematic of the bribery machine that was the Biden family. Isn't it fascinating that China has effectively gotten literally everything that they've wanted from this administration? Joe Biden has dropped the sanctions. Joe Biden has dropped the tariffs. Joe Biden has blown open the American manufacturing and our border so that China can ship in fentanyl. Joe Biden has literally groveled on his knees to China to kiss the ring. It's bribery. He's a bought and sold man. This shows that Joe Biden benefited from the bribery, that Joe Biden got direct benefit from these criminal deals and is therefore a direct criminal member of this enterprise. This is absolute bombshell stuff. They won't be able to manufacture anything on Trump that will come even close to what James Comer has now uncovered. You have a compromised president, and you have a president that is now truly in the direct crosshairs of impeachment, like via the Constitution. Via the Constitution and via the letter of the law that we all swear to uphold in the offices here in the United States of America, Joe Biden must and should rightly be impeached. James Comer saying just as much. Watch.
Like the payment to Joe from AmeriCorps funds, it's certainly plausible that this payment where James and Sarah used funds from China was indeed a loan payment to Joe. But even if this $40,000 check was a loan repayment from James Biden, it still shows how Joe benefited from his family cashing in on his name with money from China, no less.
Now, people are reticent to play the clip I'm about to play for you because it comes from Hunter Biden's laptop, and people are scared of it or they think it's dirty. And it is filthy. It's dirty. It shows the true debasement and demonic activity that exists inside of this family. It shows generational curses inside of this family. If you go through Hunter Biden's laptop, it is a sick and diseased portal into a much darker and much more sinister, much more criminal world than we can cover here because, well, quite frankly, like, we can't even show you, we can't show you the images. The entire channel would be demonetized and taken down if we showed you what was actually on Hunter Biden's laptop. And let's just say he's guilty of sex trafficking, sex crimes, crimes against humanity, Epstein-style stuff, right? The stuff that got Epstein killed by Hillary in federal lockup in New York. This and worse exists on Hunter Biden's laptop. But also voicemails exist on Hunter Biden's laptop in his own voice of Hunter Biden, clearly inebriated, wandering and wobbling around whatever apartment he was in at the time, shaking and rattling drink carts and screaming about the collapse of their Chinese business and how his father is directly involved. So James Comer has the very clean banking judicial takedown of this. Here's the internals for the Biden family. Have a listen.
I have another New York Times reporter calling about my representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Koh, the spy chief of China, who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded, and is now missing. And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Devin, has named me as a witness without telling me in a criminal case, and my father without telling me.
Who, baby? Who's Devin? Well, it's Devin Archer, the man who's cooperating with Republican investigators. It's the man who is going to be testifying against Joe Biden in this impeachment inquiry. And they are now going to subpoena Hunter Biden. They have all the testimony wrapped up. They have all the bank records, and now they're going in. James Comer, pray for this man. Pray for this man. Baby. And James Comer has a deputy, a bit of an attack dog, bulldog, who has been doing incredible work, who also has a banking background. That I did not know, actually, about Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds has a banking background and has a financial services background. And Byron Donalds has been a low-key, lineman when it comes to moving the needle on this stuff. Byron Donalds explaining this in a way that is very clear to me how the actual bribe system worked. A superstar in the making. Watch.
First off, the idea this is a $250,000 loan, it's not a loan. This is just a payment. They're trying to say it's a loan, and now this guy is pretending that he's assuming the payback, which I don't imagine is really going to happen. What are your thoughts?
I think this is just more of what you're going to see as more information comes out about Joe Biden, his brother, and his son. This money that was coming in from the Chinese, from the Ukrainians, from the Russians, etc., all of this was for a pay-to-play scheme. That's what this is all about. They were getting money because of Joe Biden's access to the federal government, because of his position over decades. It's sick. It's disgusting. In my view, this has led to Joe Biden being compromised as the commander-in-chief, because the money that has flowed to this family has never been paid back, quote unquote. So that means they have to pay it back through political favors.
So why would you bribe someone? Think about this as you would a criminal. You're not a criminal. But consider you are a member of a criminal enterprise. You've seen The Godfather, right? Haven't you ever seen a crime movie? Haven't you watched like Law and Order? It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. You pay the bribe to get a favor. The mob, the criminal enterprises don't pay money. Communist China is a criminal enterprise, right? Where's our Zen mode here? Zen enlightenment mode is all organized governments are criminal enterprises, and all of the people in charge of them are Muppets run by the cartelized systems that run the government. So China is a cartelized system, a criminal enterprise that paid the Bidens for what? What are the favors exactly? What would be some of the favors that the Bidens would deliver to China? Well, getting rid of the tariffs that Donald Trump that happened on day one, getting rid of the tariffs on Chinese goods, forcing the sale of American land to China near our military bases, the sharing of military technology with the Chinese, which we have done. We just developed a brand new nuclear warhead. And the first thing that Joe Biden does is invite Chinese government officials and military officials over to see it and inspect it. I'm not joking. These are what you get. This is what you get. This is what the bribery is. Same thing happened with Hillary Clinton, Russia, Ukraine, uranium one. Clear cut. There's a number of ways to skin this cat. I mean, this happened with Hillary Clinton in a lot of different ways, the Clintons. But good example is they sold off American uranium to the Russians. And then, strangely enough, Bill and Hillary get invited to go speak in Moscow for millions of dollars every single year. Oh, that's weird. It's almost like it's so corrupt, you want to make sure that the companies are bombed to rubble to get rid of the evidence, which is what they do in Ukraine and what they're doing in Russia. But yeah, Bill and Hillary Clinton straight up, hardcore, sold all of America's uranium to Russia as a bribe. This is how it operates. They're criminal. They're selling off the brass on the Titanic on this ship because they hate America. They hate you. They hate your future. They don't want you to have a future. They don't want America to have any resources. They believe that they are in control of this entire place, that they are in charge, that all of America belongs to them, the oligarchical few, and that it is their job to sell it off to our enemies, and you and your future, you get nothing. They are leveraging the future and the security of this nation against us. Whew, baby. That's how the operation works. That's how a crime syndicate works. This is how a crime cartel works, and this is how the Bidens work, and the Clintons, and the rest of them. The Bushes. In case you're wondering if this is like a party thing. Nope. Plenty of Republicans did this as well, and it's time for it to stop. The Great Awakening is here and now.